from the Radio for One, Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast on a Thursday with Mike and Jay. Big E, Mickey running the board today. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Yeah.
You?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Too bad, I suppose. It's getting close to the weekend. It's a long weekend, too.
Oh, yeah.
So
It didn't even occur to me.
Yeah.
Labor Day is upon us.
Yeah.
Back to school, everybody. Yeah.
Is that when we
Summer's
start?
over.
Just after Labor Day?
Most people do, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll be off on Monday, like most people.
We'll have a fine best of prepared and ready to go.
Absolutely. E, you busting it on it? You working on it?
Yes.
You have,
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. E hasn't even thought
you
about
have
it.
unique and appropriate content.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
You're not
E
going to
hasn't-
redo the best of from like 3 months ago?
No.
This is the first you thought about it, right?
Dude, I haven't. Well, that's not true. I did have one bit in the last time, but I didn't realize it. But I haven't done a
Now, how are you establishing what bits to use? How are you going about this?
things that I find funny. I
Have you
guess.
been making notes as we go?
I went through the listener that sent us his show notes. And
Thank God for that, huh?
Yes.
If it wasn't for the listeners, we'd be fucked.
No, you're right. The listener, which of course I can't remember the name, unfortunately, to give him credit, but the listener that gives
Was it Stuart?
and he knows who he is.
I say it was Stuart.
Maybe.
Stuart?
Okay, well, hopefully that is it. But he knows who he is, but for sure. But that has helped. That helped a lot, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
All
to be able to go back and actually see notes on
Right.
what's happened and
Yes.
what episode it's in, so you don't have to
Yes.
just needle in the haystack it.
yes, that does
Yeah,
help.
that is helpful. I would put that under maybe a producer role, quote unquote producer,
Yeah.
someone who
I
would
did
maybe
it for a
take
while.
notes
and then
daily.
I did it for a while. Like when I went on vacation in May, I gave up.
What? Did you understand a word of that?
I was trying to do it. And I remember I even was. I remember that I even was real good about it. Even when I went on vacation in May, I took my laptop and did some, and then when I got back, it fell apart.
Yeah.
So May to June, June to July, July to August into September,
Letting Stu,
into the
letting
ether.
Stubby run with it. My man Stu's got this.
Hey,
Got a new producer on
it
board.
seems like he likes it.
Hopefully
So,
Stu likes the show. Hopefully he still likes to take notes on every show. We're just fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll
Well,
provide us
maybe-
updates as we go.
Stu, if you could decide that you don't want to do it anymore, then please email me so that I can take the reins. Don't worry if you don't want to. Just let me know so then I can.
Yeah. If you've stopped listening, don't respond, and then we'll just know that it's time for E to get back on the horse. Good Lord. Anyway, dare I say a big show today? We got a lot to get to. We got a Fight Club to talk about. Interesting twist on Fight Club.
For sure.
We've got let's see, Superfly Snuka.
It's funny, man. Superfly Snuka came
Ooh,
up out
yeah.
of nowhere maybe a month ago. We were just talking about WWF/WWE,
Mm-hmm.
and we threw out Jimmy Superfly Snuka. First time that name has passed my lips in 25 years.
Yeah, at least.
And then we've got a big story.
I would have just assumed he was dead. At
Yeah.
72, what wrestler makes it to
I
72
don't
years
know.
old? So anyway,
Not many.
We'll give you an update on Superfly Snuka. Taylor Swift's video
Oh,
coming under some fire.
Well.
We'll get into that. The I don't know if you've been following the story. Is it out of Kentucky? The
the clerk
Yeah,
is just refusing to comply with the U.S. Supreme Court holding.
yeah to issue gay marriage license.
Yeah.
Licenses. We'll get to her story. A gun selfie that's gone awry. Ari, if you will. Freddie Gray court proceedings. Basically just some paperwork and initial proceedings, I guess.
Some pretrial motions.
Yeah, exactly. But we should probably start with the guy. We watched the video yesterday. The guy shot with his hands in the air. And
God, what an unfortunate placement of a telephone pole that is.
yeah, it is.
But there's a second video, right?
There is a second
And they
video.
haven't released it yet. They're trying to figure out what they're gonna say.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Audio recording was released of a conversation between the dispatcher and the county deputies, Texas county deputies, whose fatal shooting of a man raised questions of whether they acted properly, indicating the man was armed and suicidal, and had just harmed his baby and his wife. Gilbert Flores, if you remember, was his name. He was the big guy, 41 years old, killed on Friday by 2 Bexar County deputies. In it, the dispatcher is heard telling deputies that Flores had a knife, but the audio does not indicate how she knows that. It turns out that was true. He is threatening suicide by cop, the dispatcher says. The comments on the audio also indicate that shots had been fired before that. It indicates that shots were fired before those shots that we see fired. So they don't explain what that means. But nothing indicates that this guy had a gun. Activists
missed him earlier.
Yeah, perhaps. Well, I think they tried to shoot him with a stun gun and they missed. So that the prongs didn't stick in him or something like that. So what do you got to go to your, that's when you go to your revolver. I mean, that's just textbook. So yeah, it shows activists say the video proves that Flores was unarmed and appeared to surrender when he was shot. Of course, activists are going to say that. Video does not include any conversation. Remember, it's back over a block away from where the video that we've seen was taken. So there's no audio picked up on it. All both deputies and the victim are Hispanic. So it's going to be hard to make a real race charge here. I guess you can just go with a straight police brutality case, but
yeah,
I don't know.
You could.
Yeah.
I think
the video appears to show Flores standing with his arms still with his arms raised just before 2 shots are heard. He drops to the ground. Moments later, deputies drag and flip Flores onto his stomach. About a minute and a half later, an ambulance arrives. Both cops have been with the sheriff's department for 10 years, so it's not like these guys are newbies. Definitely the video is troubling, the district attorney says. There's actually another video with a better view that is very close.
God, release that one. Let's see it.
Yeah, well,
so we can see why they did this, why they acted in this way.
This is a very unique situation where we actually have the shooting on video. That gives us a whole different perspective that we've never had before. Certainly what's in the video is cause for concern, but it's important to let the investigation go through and blah, blah, blah.
Doesn't the longer they don't say something about it, they're just, like you said, just the idea of trying to decide what they want to say about it?
Well, I don't think I don't have a problem with them not releasing the video. It's not,
or make a statement.
The courtroom is not just public outcry. That's not their job is to not make sure the public sees everything. Like that's not the role of that.
Yeah, but it very likely signals that it's not good.
Maybe
if it was good, I think they'd probably want to rush it out so that the public doesn't react.
Yeah,
at least there'd be an interest in that. I see what you're saying. Like it's not incumbent on them to do that, but there'd be an interest in calm down, everybody. Here's what really happened.
And don't you think that every precinct is different? Everyone's going to have their own rules about how they do stuff as it pertains to an active investigation. I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot of trouble for these guys unless he's got a gun in his hand, like a knife. That's going to be really hard because they're saying now that he did have both hands raised and that he had a knife in his hand, but he doesn't appear to be moving. He doesn't look like he can move very fast. Now, law enforcement's defense is going to be this, and we heard this with Michael Brown, that you can make up 20 feet in a matter of 2 seconds. And so
they kind of flinched. He did that little thing.
I don't know. I don't know. They did. And I'm not justifying. I'm just telling you what the things I'm starting to hear already is that, as all of us law enforcement understand, you want to keep 21 feet between you and the perp at all times. And
21, right.
Because
of what you just mentioned, the 20 feet in 2 seconds.
Oh, well, yeah.
Right?
No, but I mean, 21 feet is the distance any cop will tell you this if you ask any pro. 21 feet is the distance you want to keep between you and your enemy. And, it's an us or them business. We know this, right? And they're going to try probably to say, oh, yeah, maybe he approached inside 21 feet. He was 20 feet and 2 inches. So we opened fire on the son of a bitch. And that they hit him with the stun gun and it didn't work. So I don't know. It doesn't look good though.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I still have a problem. I still wonder why both cops fired. As far as I know, it wasn't one guy pulling the trigger twice. It was both guys fired. Would that be one of those? Because I could see doing that. If you and I are on the beat, Jay, and you shoot,
Totally.
I'm shooting
You could
too.
totally see it, right?
Boom, boom, yeah, fuck yeah, we did.
Yeah. And then kind of like 10 seconds later, huh?
Oh,
Hmm.
I thought I just heard a gunshot. I thought it was on. I don't know. Totally see how you can do that. But yeah, it doesn't look good, man.
It doesn't. And every time we talk about these stories and we go, oh, these people all over the country claiming that cops are murderers and all that. Unfortunately, every time there's a story like this, it's like, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to certainly jump to that conclusion. Like cops are out to murder people, but that doesn't that doesn't help your case, man.
Yeah.
No. And if this one was just happened to be caught on video, the argument would be, well, how many do we just not see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it possible? Is it possible? I think it warrants the question that this is happening more.
No,
that this is happening more than we want to believe.
Yeah, it's not a question you want to ask, but there's, and believe me, nobody's more pro cop than me. But you definitely, that question is coming when you see stuff like South Carolina. And I know there are plenty of great cops out there going, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Dude, I go out every day and patrol these streets and I'm a pro every day. And every time a video like this lands, it encompasses all of us.
And it's not just
into question all of us.
It's not just a thing like, oh, gee, people are going to think bad about us. It's to the point where, wow, my head is on the line now.
Yeah.
Now, those guys did that. So I need to be extra cautious because this thing that's growing, this whole execution of cops thing that seems to be growing, it's going to be fed by this.
Yeah. There's almost no room for error in a world like that. You almost have to be perfect. Unfortunately, even when the facts say that the cops were absolutely justified, it would go a long way, I think, in the other side of the argument, if in those instances you could go, this doesn't mean that there's no such thing as police brutality out there. But in this case, it appears the officers were attacked. And as we've said, you cannot point a gun at a cop. You can't you can't endanger their life. They're going to react like this. I don't know if you saw a video of the cop in Florida, the sheriff in Florida that was circulating yesterday.
No.
And he was given a press conference and he made some comments about, yeah, you come, this is what happened. You come at us with a gun, like their officers opened fire on a guy. And there was video, I think, of it where the guy pulled a gun and he's like, every single time you pull a gun and aim it at a cop, you're going to lose and they're going to shoot you. And people are like, and he was unapologetic in his press conference, like, no, fuck you. You're out there on the streets as a piece of shit and you're going to point a gun at a cop. You might just end up getting killed for it. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. And
you should.
Yeah. And I would agree with that. But yeah, there's no doubt. So I think there's a give on both sides of this where, when we see some injustice, you should be able to call that out on both sides. And if you see some justified shooting go on, it shouldn't just be Black Lives Matter and then try to pin the cops like they did something wrong. That bothers me.
Yeah, the shitty thing is though, like you say, it's almost like a you need perfection on the side of the cops, and that's never going to happen. But it's almost like if your kid lies to you once and you tell them, look, dude, you're going to have to regain my trust and every little thing you do. Well, this example, this is going to be thrown about. If there's a second camera that shows this to be even more heinous with the dude's two arms up, nothing in his hands, or at best a knife, they're going to throw that out every time. And, and you're trying to like, no, but we really are good. We really don't do this. This isn't all of us. And you're going to have to, it's such an uphill battle, man.
Yeah.
And the more cameras that are out there, the more people who are now watching and wondering, whoa, there's just a normal traffic stop. I'm going to tape it.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing that shit now.
Yep.
And so you gotta be perfect, and nobody's going to be perfect. And so
yeah,
I don't see it getting better anytime soon.
No, I don't either. And the argument is that, well, you expect this kind of behavior from criminals. You expect the criminals not to play by the rules, but the cops are and rightly so held to a higher standard. They just are. And You know, I'm never going to second guess a cop's.
They hold our life and liberty in their hands.
Yeah.
In many respects.
They're the protection between law-abiding citizens and the criminal element out there. And I'm never going to second guess a cop in an instant where you need to make those snap decisions and mistakes are going to be made. And
you're never going to second guess like that scenario.
No, that doesn't seem like a split-second decision of life and death to me. You know what I mean? But when you talk about a guy, oh, I was driving at the cop at a high rate of speed and he opens fire, like, dude, sorry. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to second guess a cop's decision to do that.
Yeah, him or me kind of scenario.
Yeah, the guy we were talking about yesterday, that police chief, the guy that the girls had called and was like, this guy's been outside our apartment all day with a gun, right, and he's stalking me, and I know it's loaded. He's always got a loaded gun on him, Marcus, whatever. Those cops are devastated by that. According, you know, I mean, if you take the chief at his word, he's like, these guys are devastated that they took a guy's life. It's brutal. You know, I mean, it shakes up everybody's life. So yeah, but this video is tough, and when I hear cops talking about it now, I mean, it's like the South Carolina one. At this point, we don't have enough to make a definitive call, but it doesn't look good. It's for sure.
Does not look good. Hey, you know what is good, Mike? The summertime special you've been waiting for. Only while supplies last, you can lease a 2015 Ford Escape SE for $159 for 24 months at Zott Ford and Holly. Yes, their sales staff is hotter than Big E's robotic girlfriend, but this Escape deal is the hottest of them all. Again, just $159 for a Ford Escape. Surf their massive inventory and smoking deals at ZottFord.com.
Baltimore judge today refused to dismiss charges against the 6 police officers
in the Freddie Gray incident.
Yes, sir.
Of course, this is the guy who was thrown in back of the van and then came up with a severed spinal column.
Yeah. Judge Barry Williams.
Whoa, Greg Brady?
I know. You believe that? I had no idea that he was the Honorable Greg Brady at this point. That's amazing. So the Honorable Greg Brady, a.k.a. Barry Williams, denied a defense motion for the charges to be dropped against the officers in the death of Freddie Gray. Defense attorneys had sought to drop the charges because of prosecutorial misconduct on the part of Marilyn Mosby, the state's attorney.
Just saying stuff publicly.
Yeah. And the judge said that while he was troubled by Mosby's public comments, they're not likely to prejudice a jury. Andrew Graham, an attorney representing Officer Caesar Goodson, I believe he's the one facing second-degree depraved heart murder. Yeah, the most serious charge, argued that Mosby's comments after filing charges were reckless and unprofessional, violated rules of conduct.
Do you remember what the statements were exactly?
She basically went and said Black Lives Matter and oh God, what was it? We could probably find them. But yeah, they were basically the rallying cry of what was going on about no justice, no peace, that kind of thing. She was kind of echoing what the public,
like, they're not above the law.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
No, I remember it was a very political move by her.
Yeah. And his attorney, Caesar Goodson's attorney, said it was basically a pep rally calling for payback. Williams also ruled against another defense motion. Mosby, they wanted her removed from the case for conflict of interest because of her husband. If you remember, that's his district.
Okay.
And so he said that Nick Mosby is his name. He's a councilman in the district that experienced a disproportionate amount of violence. And the judge called that accusation that she couldn't do her job because of who she was married to, this councilman, troubling and condescending. Being married to a councilman is not a reason for recusal. So
denied.
Yeah. You know what else they said? They're going to do 6 trials. Remember, they were wondering how they were going to do that. How do you do that? Because I thought the whole point in that case was they were going to try to get those guys to turn on each other. But most of them they're all facing reckless endangerment and misconduct. They're all facing basically the same charges for the same incident. So how do you get them? Because aren't they all just going to plead the fifth? I mean, they're not going to testify in this guy's trial, which could then jeopardize their own case.
Yeah.
So how do you, it seems like
still keep working behind the scenes trying to get them to flip on each other.
Do you?
By offering them plea deals. Like, hey, this deal still stands. All you got to do is plea, and you'll just get like 2 to 4 years. Otherwise, we're going to proceed, and we're going to go for 12 to
years.
15.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if I would take
Just
that.
need one weak link in the 6.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty connected, right? All the 6 kind of worked together during the process. It wasn't like, or was it? Wasn't there a stop where some guys put them in there and then they weren't connected to the events anymore?
Yeah.
Like the van takes off.
Totally.
And then it's on the Caesar guy to kind of get him there.
Yeah. I think the Caesar guy was off work too and was called in to like pick him up and haul him.
That'd suck.
Yeah. I thought that was how that went.
Yeah, no matter what your occupation, your age, your race, your color, or your creed.
No one is above the law, and that I would pursue justice on their behalf, Mosby said. She had I heard your call for no justice, no peace. That was the one that was like,
I heard your call, so here, I'm going to levy these charges, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to throw some meat to the wolves.
To the youth of this city, I will seek justice on your behalf. This is a moment. This is your moment.
Oof.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. Yeah.
Don't forget, next election time, who was behind you? Who supported you?
Totally. And
those are the guys voting, right?
That's the accusation, is that she's got higher aspirations politically, and this will be used as her moment talking to the little people.
Yeah.
Like, remember what I did for you. Black lives do matter.
Yeah.
When she's going for votes somewhere, which is appalling.
So you got a bunch of Dorian Johnsons like, Mr. Johnson, don't forget to cast your vote, your ballot, sir.
Are you registered?
Oh, God. Just doesn't end, man. It's just so frustrating. I believe it or not, I get sick of talking about this stuff. It just doesn't stop. But and the frustrating part for me is that today's case in Baltimore went as perfectly as you could go for the prosecution.
Thus for the people.
Thus for the people who are desperate to see these 6 guys be ripped to shreds in prison for the rest of their lives for poor defenseless Freddie Gray and his 32 arrests. They want these guys' heads in Times Square on stakes. And so this couldn't have gone any better for them, for the people that want these guys dead or thrown in prison and throw away the key.
In terms of the outcome of the motions.
Right. By saying, no, we're not removing her, and all the other things.
Dismissing the charges.
Exactly. And yet there were protests all day long, stopping traffic, throwing bottles. One guy was arrested. Of course, there's 500 people there to film it as they're writhing on the ground with handcuffs on. Looks like it's straight out of the 1960s, being hosed down in the streets. One of these photos. And it's like, stop it. You can't just chuck bottles at the police and expect they're not going to fucking arrest you.
God, and that's what sucks so bad about the story we just did. Is that just fuels that. It fans the flames of that shit.
Totally.
Because they point back, well, here's an example.
Yeah.
Guy with his hands up and you went ahead and shot him.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But it's tough because, like, you got the exact outcome you want. What are we protesting in Baltimore?
Oh, they want him dead. They want him to be thrown out to the people to be ripped to shreds.
Okay. But the justice system doesn't work like that. So
that's what they want.
Okay, well, that's not going to happen ever. So what are we going to do? Burn the city down again? And the cops can't win.
Burn this bitch down.
Remember last time they said, just let them blow off some steam. Let them blow off some steam. And we remember what they did when they were told, just let them blow off. Stand down was the order from top brass. Stand down. And then we saw where that went. And now they're told, don't take any bullshit on the streets. And they're still filmed and crucified by everybody. It's like...
I'd get out of the profession.
Turning your badge, boys.
Absolutely.
Not worth it. That's not worth it. It's just not worth it. You can do other stuff.
You're not paid
You're
enough.
Brave men. Go do something else. It's not fucking worth it.
Go be in the army, man. I mean, I feel like at least if you really just have that need to serve, maybe do the army instead of police. I don't know.
Do anything else.
Right.
The target is so big right now, and it's bullshit in a lot of cases, but it's so big you can't win.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
Become a realtor like Chris Stajelski.
Oh, we don't want any
Summer will be
competition.
over before we know it. Let Chris Stajelski of Remax Suburban sell your home while the market's hot. Krista will handle all of the details so you can enjoy the summer weather while it lasts. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900.
All right, Jay, you get a phone call.
Okay.
Say it's Manny.
Manny.
Says, Dad, I'm in the park and there's a bunch of kids. I think they're going to beat me up. What do you do?
Man,
by the way, gotta go, Dad. Click.
Is there any way you can get out of there without getting beat up, Manny? I suggest you do that.
I have a feeling. I don't know what you would do if that situation truly presented itself. I know what you wouldn't do, which is probably what this mother and father in Missouri did. She was caught on camera pointing a handgun and cursing at these teenagers. What are you gonna do?
Mama Bear.
That's right. They had supposedly threatened her 15-year-old son. Tracy Leeser is her name, and her husband Don showed up at Fleet Park. And in
These
Missouri.
are images of her holding the gun on the kid?
There's video.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there's video. Yeah, to defend their son Brett, Don has a bat in the video. Nice example you're setting for your kids. Dad's got a bat and mom's got a Glock. Holy shit. The mother is first seen on the video screaming, "Get the fuck away from my kid, you motherfucker."
Nice.
It's all bleeped out, but one of the teens is heard yelling at Tracy, "You don't know shit. Your son's going to get your ass beat right now. I'm going to beat your son's ass right now." And she's like, "Oh, you are?" And she pulls out a gun. "Go ahead, beat my ass. Beat my..." Oh, Jesus Christ. At that point, here's the difference of like when we were young and today, I think. If some guy were to pull a gun out on me, you and Deuced, we're out in the park and I beat up this kid, and Mama Bear is like, "Oh yeah, motherfucker," and pulls out a gun on us, don't you think all of us would be like, "Oh, hey, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right.
Let's talk about this.
Settle down, mama. Settle down." Like this kid's like, "Go ahead, shoot me, motherfucker. Shoot me." Like that would have never happened. Like everybody would have just been, whoa. Remember Naked Gun? When not Nordberg, but Frank Drebin is playing the umpire.
Of course.
Yeah.
And who was it? Reggie Jackson. They put the chip in Reggie Jackson, and he's out in center field, and they detonate the thing to go off, and so he picks up. Yeah, see if you can find it.
I love it.
Speaking.
Clobbers them in the mask.
So wait till it gets to the fight where they're all fighting. This might just be the dance and stuff. It's probably the next scene, actually.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't remember what you're referring to.
Well, they start arguing. He can't let the inning end because he knows at the seventh inning stretch is when
they're going to kill the queen.
They're going to kill the queen, and he doesn't know which player has the gun. Remember, the gun is actually hidden under second base.
Okay.
And so he's been checking, like frisking all the players as they come up to bat, and so he can't let that third out happen because he hasn't figured out who has the gun yet.
Right.
And so.
By the way, I faked every orgasm.
So players get into a pickle or something, and the guy's out, and he won't call him out because he knows then the inning ends, and he comes in and calls him safe, and now the umps are yet fighting with each other like he was out, and then out of the. So the announcements have been made that it's a third out. I'm not explaining this well. Announcements have been made it's a third out, and so hence the seventh inning stretch. That sets off Reggie Jackson with the gun. When he sees that he's coming with the gun, he pulls out his own gun, and the umps are like, whoop, he was safe. He was safe. He jumped back immediately. Whoop, yep, nope, you were right. Good call. Good call.
Nice.
And that's what I would expect would happen. I wouldn't expect people to be like, shoot me then. Shoot me.
It's 2015, man.
Dude, it's a different
Jits
world.
are going ham.
You want to see the video?
Absolutely. I'll bet this Mama Bear's a looker, huh?
No. And it's shot.
Portrait.
Yes.
Get on him because he fucking came to my with his car. Did he not tell you about that? He pulled in my driveway trying to hit. He came to my house. You don't know. You are a drug. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Goddamn thing. No, you don't. You don't know anything. Stay away from my son. Look, your son gets beat right now. I'll beat your son your stepdad.
Oh, there's a gun.
Hey, don't do that. Come on, shoot me. Shoot me. I told you I beat your son. We ain't gonna beat your ass. Keep pointing that at me. Keep pointing that at me. Hey, look, keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Jesus, dude.
That kid didn't waver
At
for a
all.
second.
No. Yeah, so she ends up not shooting them. But yeah,
No, he was not concerned in the slightest.
no. What is that? Is that a tough guy thing?
Yeah, I guess.
Good Lord. She was saying that you're a drug dealer, and he was saying that your son's a drug dealer.
Right.
And
She
she
won't believe it.
and he's going, you don't know shit. You don't know shit. Your son's a drug dealer. And so it sounds like a couple drug dealers, maybe a turf war, who knows? But
Yeah, I don't completely speak white trash, but I was trying to get it there. I got like little words here and there.
yeah,
I'm just gonna say, dude, that's just as bad as anything when you get white trash people fighting like that. You know what I mean?
It's the worst.
I think it is the worst.
It's right up there, whether you see him at Walmart or
Oh my god!
a video in the park.
What do you mean by the worst? I mean, it's the worst and the best, all rolled into one.
True.
The most entertaining.
The video was posted on YouTube by Tyrell Ware, who's 15. He's one of the teenagers that the gun was pointed at. Don said the couple went to the park after receiving a text from Brett that he was about to be attacked by these teenagers. Conflict apparently arose earlier in that day over some bitches.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
A fight broke out between two girls who were friends of Tyrell and Terrence Ware, the brothers, in front of the Leesers' house.
You're kidding.
No, I wouldn't kid about that. Don pulled his pocket knife and swung it at Terrence. His pocket knife. Before chasing him after he saw him reach for it. He was reaching for something, so I pulled my pocket knife on him. What a pile of shit group of people this is. And then 3 days later, a dozen BBs come blasting through the front window at the Leeser house.
BBs.
So someone did a drive-by BB shooting of their front window.
Excellent.
3 days, as I said, after the confrontation, Don said their 8-year-old daughter was laying on the couch watching TV. And
She's scarred forever.
she is. She wasn't hurt at all, but she's traumatized.
Bothered her.
Absolutely.
My guess, based on that video, is that she's had a few other situations in her life. This wasn't the first. You know what I mean? Like,
Isn't the first confrontation she's been in?
yeah, if your mom is willing to pull a gun like that, I bet she's been in a few Walmart situations or two in her day.
She pulled a gun. Damn it.
Isn't that terrible?
Yes.
What's this world coming to? And then we got a guy, I think this story was sent to us last night. 19-year-old in Houston, Texas, father
Oh, jeez. God.
of two.
Oh, my God. What are
What?
you doing?
What?
Nothing. Say mom? I wonder.
Maybe he's like you. He doesn't know what a
How do you say it? Condom. Yes, I know that word.
He's not familiar with that.
Apparently not. De Leon Alonzo Smith. De Leon.
De Leon. Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de
Oh,
Leon.
yeah, I don't think that's who he's named after.
He was named after the great explorer who discovered Florida.
I don't think so.
Searched for the fountain of
I was
youth
just
until
gonna-
his death.
Right. I was just going to say.
De Leon was in his apartment.
Ponce de Leon.
He was named after Ponce himself.
A fucking
Well,
explorer.
The gun
They're
suddenly.
like about to fill out the birth certificate. They're like, "Who's your favorite world explorer?"
What about
boy.
Magellan?
Magellan was awesome. Discovered the Western Hemisphere. How about Ponce de Leon?
I like that.
He had the whole Florida thing going.
I'm not a
Found
fan
it.
of Ponce though.
Yeah, but found a youth, man. I mean, you
Found
know,
a
if he had
youth. He was
found
onto
that-
something.
If he had found that.
Yeah. De Leon. De Leon.
Let's go with De Leon. So the gun suddenly went off in his apartment, and he shot himself in the neck.
Damn!
I shot
Shot myself in the neck.
How many stories since we've had the story can there be where Jay can like I cease to amaze me. Once a week we have something where Jay gets to say,
Damn! You shot me, stabbed me, hit me, whatever, in the neck. The neck is just,
There he is.
God, it's fertile ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
speaking
it
of fertile
seems like-
ground.
There's my man. He looks studious.
Yeah, a little
He has
Urkel look.
glasses on. Yeah. God, the neck. Just the neck.
So supple.
It is.
Yeah. Just all the lymph
Soft.
nodes.
It seems like a lot of damage would be inflicted in one foul pull of a
Yeah,
trigger.
there could be a
Like
lot
you
go
do.
wrong.
A lot going on in the neck.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
very vital area of the body.
So
Hold
it's-
your head. Hold your head, ready?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like there'd be much room for air. Like you're gonna hit a spine.
That's
No,
the
going
you're,
thing.
into the neck.
you're right. You go arm, it's like, you could
You
picture
can pretty much
Yeah.
get shot
having
in
a
the-
bullet go through and
Bullet.
okay.
Calf.
break a bone and so forth. But neck, yeah, unless you're getting grazed
Even
in the neck.
even the main torso, you always hear. I mean, in the end, they do miss vital organs, but the neck, you're right.
Yeah, it's
It's a
not
rough.
cool.
And you got that jugular on the one side too.
There you go.
You're gonna die bad if that gets hit too.
The carotid.
The carotid, the carotid.
God damn it!
Smith's cousin was in the apartment at the time in a different room and told police they had found a gun earlier in the day.
Oh yeah.
How many people are going to claim they just found
Yeah,
guns?
that shit
laying
happens.
around?
Didn't that the last one was the terrorist on the French train, right?
Yes.
He found that whole arsenal in
He
the
found
park.
an AR.
He's like, well,
You found a gun where you put it or where you bought it. Like,
yeah, with all the magazine, like 9 magazines
yeah.
and another.
I found
Pistol.
it in the
So
gun
it
store.
happens. It happens.
It does. Well, apparently that's what happened here. Police are still trying to figure out where the gun came from. It's just crazy how somebody could be here 1 minute and the next second they're gone. His sister said it wasn't like he was trying
all the
to
time.
do it on purpose. He wasn't trying to kill himself. Friends and family say the teen was the father of 2 young children and was starting college on Monday.
Oh, was he?
Of course. Or they're making like this big anti-suicide argument so they can collect on his huge life insurance policy.
Probably
had,
that
right?
he took out for the children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably it. Because he needed to replace his income should anything happen.
Yeah. Well, Nana came.
Check him out. Check out De Leon.
De Leon starting college on Monday, motherfucker.
And shit. And shit.
I will see you in astronomy class, motherfucker.
Look at that. Just a wisp of a man.
How many
Just a
tattoos-
wisp of a man.
How many tattoos does he have on there already?
You can barely see me. Who knows?
Several, for sure.
I don't know, 0.5% body fat. Look at the little guy.
Yeah. He is wee. What
He
are those? A
is
size
wee.
19
Honest,
jean?
yeah, that waist, that can't be more than a 22.
Does he
And that's
think
with
he's-
like a pair of basketball shorts and 2 pairs of boxers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? That's pretty serious.
I mean, that belt, there are more notches on that belt.
You're right.
Look at that. There's
Dude.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notches we
Why
can
is-
see on that belt.
Why is he even wearing the belt?
I want to know why there's notches in the belt if it's one of those kind that folds over. You see that?
Yeah, it's one of those ones that you put through the loop and yeah.
Wow, it's too bad that this.
I'm strapping young gentlemen. Just
Gone
Well,
too soon.
we've lost a good one.
Maybe this is. Maybe this was a picture from last Halloween or something.
Yeah, maybe.
we've lost
I mean,
a
it's-
good one.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, he dressed up as a total fucking punk.
Would it be?
What are you for Halloween?
A total fucking punk. He's really just a studious kid
Yeah.
getting ready to go off to
Mikey,
college. I
how-
hate to judge, Mike.
How come the total fucking punks are always lucky ones that get to find guns everywhere?
Yeah.
I've been like on the lookout.
I have
for
you bet.
just
That's what I
random
was going to
guns.
ask you. Are you
I
on the
never-
lookout?
Yeah, I mean enough. Not every minute of every day, but I'm definitely keeping my eyes peeled when I'm out there. I never see him
No.
floating around.
Me either.
Does it say how old his kids are? I just
It just says young.
okay.
No, I like that. I like you digging for that fact, E. That's interesting. Are they like 6?
Are they 3, 4?
6 and 4. 19-year-old De Leon.
I started procreating at 10. Yesterday was my birthday, and he came to wish me happy birthday, and now this kind of news, said
And
Smith's
shit.
grandmother,
Mm.
Alma.
Oh, poor Nana.
Yeah. Alma Douglas. I hate to say natural selection, but if you're shooting yourself with a gun you found on the streets, I mean, no offense.
Taking a selfie.
Taking a selfie. Yeah.
Whew.
Alma, named after my alma mater.
Hey, they're a college-going brood.
Absolutely.
A long history of college attendance. in
Well,
that
he was
family.
starting the next day, so
Right.
too bad. I'm not sure where he was going. If he was going to one of the Ivy Leagues, or
Probably
I think he was going to Brown. I don't think he was going to Yale or Harvard. Maybe Princeton, maybe Brown. I can't remember.
I'm sure.
Not
Brown.
sure. Brown Community College, motherfucker.
in shit.
The defiant clerk out of Kentucky.
Defiant indeed.
Yeah, what a piece of shit. Seriously. She's refused to issue gay marriage licenses. So now people are digging around at her a little bit. She's been
geez.
married 4 times.
Ah,
Had
wow.
twins out of wedlock.
Oh, well, look at, glass houses, huh?
Oh, God damn it. Kim Davis continued to refuse the licenses despite a Supreme Court order ruling against her. She was divorced in 94, 2006,
Ooh.
2008.
She's a looker.
Yeah. Dude,
She wearing a smock. She really is, right?
her hair goes all the way down to her ass, too.
Oh, come on.
Remember we saw a bunch of them at Cedar Point?
No.
Walking around, those chicks that were all bundled up from the neck
sure.
down,
Yeah.
with hair down to their ass, like couldn't cut their hair.
Amish looking chicks.
Yeah. Seems like an odd place for the Amish to
No, the
congregate.
Amish. There's something about Cedar Point, dude. Every time I've gone to Cedar Point, I've seen several Amish people.
How does that square with this belief? Like, I can't drive in a car, can't do this and that. And I'm throwing out generalities. I don't know if Amish people can drive in cars. In fact, I almost got rear-ended by an Amish chick about a year ago in Ohio.
Well, maybe they're starting to drive cars.
Maybe they're
now.
advancing. Maybe they're progressing. But how does Cedar Point square with their beliefs? McCard, go.
And I recently learned. So this is a good example of that. I recently learned that the rich ones actually pay people to drive them around and stuff, and that is 100% keeping with their beliefs. So they can buy the van.
Get rich.
They make furniture and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And those ovens, remember those ovens that they sell, remember on TV? Those electric heat ovens. They do the
part of that would be to give all that money away, though. That you wouldn't.
You'd think you'd need that just to support your whole clan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a ton of horse and buggies and stuff yesterday. It was nuts. I was in
You're in
Indiana.
Yeah.
That we hit like a I don't know what you call it, a cluck of them or whatever.
A cluck of horse and buggies.
No, of
gaggle.
Amish. Like there was a whole town where there was like no phones and stuff. There was like a phone at the corner, and there were people lined up to use it. And
Wow.
So how does it square with Cedar Point though?
And
I don't
Just
know.
like-
as long as other people are operating them, they're good to go.
Okay.
And again, I swear, dude, every time I've gone to Cedar Point, I don't know if you have too, but
I've seen them there as well.
yeah, I always see them. at
Does it
Cedar
have
Point.
anything to do with the old timey village part of everything?
You think they're in there taking the pictures of the old timey?
I don't know.
Yeah, they can only be in frontier land.
Yeah, like the offices which I was arrested in
Yes.
Cedar Point.
You were taken into custody.
Yes, a rather cute policewoman.
Yeah.
I don't need to go any further.
I actually thought that was the. It looked more like the.
She was a cop, dude.
yeah,
No, no, no.
Full-fledged cop.
She
It
was.
looked like I thought that was a turnpike, one of those turnpike like plazas. I didn't
No,
realize
there's
that was-
actually a museum in the center of Cedar
yeah.
Point.
Yeah, yep.
yeah,
which
it was
I
like
had
a
no idea was
post
there.
office. It was the post office museum. or
Yeah, I've
something.
actually walked in there, believe it or not.
You have?
Yes.
So did we.
Yeah, we were waiting on the boys to finish something. We're like, oh, what's this?
We
Then
know
you're
what
like, a cop, a hot cop.
Dude, a cop. Check her out.
There's one of those rides, right, where you like go like this or something. Like the
Yeah,
the
the
boat.
swings. It's just
and
crazy.
that gets me sick. So I've had friends go on that, and when they do, I've walked into that museum. So
Yeah,
which
it's
is what
right
you guys
there.
did.
You're
Yeah.
right. It was right in front of that. Well,
Oh,
so this woman also had Kim Davis had twins with her third husband out of wedlock. She'd been married twice to her current husband, Ed Davis. The leader of Liberty Counsel, which is providing Davis legal representation, said her past does not matter because her slate was wiped clean 4 years ago when she converted to Christianity.
oh, of course.
So it's
See,
a little
it's-
technicality to get her out of it.
It's tough, man. Like you say, glass houses, right? Throwing
Mhm.
stones. It's just
It's a Duggar situation.
Hypocrisy is so tough for people to swallow.
Yeah, as it
And-
should be.
Yeah.
Even though we're all hypocritical in things, you could
Absolutely.
pinpoint things that you've said, I've said, he's said for
Yeah.
sure, where we're hypocritical of things.
Problem is nobody's perfect. So if you're going to stand up on principle for something, anybody can be attacked like that. You can dig into my background, whoever's, and
Right.
oh my God, how can he claim this when he did that?
Right.
True.
So does that mean
Totally true.
we just kick all principle out the window, or
I don't think so, but I think it just has a shitty feeling when people are passing judgment on you for your
Yeah.
what perceived transgressions when you know they have the same or
Yeah.
more issues in their background. It's like, get the fuck out
well,
of
that's
here.
the biggest
Who are you?
obstacle to the church right now is people
Yeah.
view it as, I don't want to go there and be judged. Why would I go sit and let these people judge me? They're
Yeah.
assholes too, right?
Yeah.
And so I think if Christian churches are doing their job, they're saying, look, we're all sinners, man. We're not going to
Mhm.
judge you. We're not in position to do that.
Yeah.
You got to
But that's what she's doing.
yeah, she is. And I don't know, like she can believe that as strongly as she wants, but at some point you have to respect your government, right?
Mm-hmm.
And respect the holding of the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then work to get it changed, I guess.
Or quit your fucking job.
There you go.
You shouldn't hold that job then. If you can't do the job,
Because that's her thing. Like, I can't, in good conscience, write a license for these people to be married.
Yeah, with
then
my name
then you
on
got to
it.
step down. You're right.
yeah, then the noble thing is to, on principle, for your own beliefs, recuse yourself from that job, which she's been elected to, so she can't be fired. They would have to do a special vote that would cost all this money. It would take
Be
another
impeached.
year. Yeah, and be impeached. Exactly. And
So instead, she's going to stand on her principle and say, I won't do it.
and she's
and I'm
refusing to issue licenses for anybody. That's her cute way of getting around it by going, oh, I won't even issue them to straight couples now.
Okay, now you're totally not doing your job. So get out of the way,
Exactly.
lady.
Pain in the ass.
Take your smock and leave.
She's going back in front of the judge on Thursday to explain why she's not issuing these licenses. So that should be
Oh,
an
I'm sure that
interesting
judge will.
conversation.
Yeah, he'll be happy to see her there.
Again for the second time after he demanded that she do it. So
Let's
she's
throw her ass in jail.
Yeah, the people that went to the judge and said she's still not issuing these and filed a complaint said, we don't want her to go to jail. We want her fined, though, with escalating fines, so that if she continues to do this,
At some point, it's going to hit her. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I can take 5,000.
yeah.
I can take
Can't-
10. 15. Okay, here's
but
your license.
Someone like this, there's a group of people out there who will
will
raise
You're right.
who will raise $1
GoFundMe.
million on a GoFundMe and let this idiot sit there and preach down to people. It just seems very preachy and very judgmental, and it doesn't. I don't think it does the religion any favors by having people like out there like this representing and speaking.
Well, to me, it's like when the issue was in question, okay, you could see somebody taking that stance, but the court has said what it said.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I do understand. Like, I try to put myself into her shoes, her wooden shoes, and see where she's like, what is someone like that thinking? And if she truly is one of these people that totally believes like this is bigger than the courts of law in America. This is about my God and heaven and hell, and I can't in good faith with my beliefs put my name forever on this marriage license for something I'm so totally against. It goes against everything I believe. And that's where it's just like, okay, well then you can't do that job.
Mhm.
So very easy.
Yeah.
You know, you can.
And she still could have got the statement out. She could have stepped down and
Yeah.
had that be the reason.
I'd at least have some respect for her in that case. I wouldn't agree with her, but I'd at least have some respect. Like, wow, okay, she's actually willing to go that far and step down from her job over something like this. Well, more power to you. Someone will come in and fill that position in a day, and life goes on.
Start ripping those things off.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned wooden shoes. Do you know that I have a pair of wooden shoes?
Why?
They're actually surprisingly comfortable.
No, they're not.
Yes, they
They're
are, dude.
not.
They are. If you get the right size, they slip right on, and they're actually surprisingly comfortable.
Why do you have wooden shoes?
I
Do they
don't
have a
know.
little point at the
Yes,
top?
they're
do?
little Dutch boy shoes.
No way. Why-
Absolutely.
You don't know why you have those?
For your size now, or
Yes.
for when you were wow.
Like size 11s, man. You just
11?
slip. Yeah,
Wow.
I'll wear them out to get the mail every now and then.
Ha!
You're kidding me. And did Gab get these for you? Did you get
I
these
got
for
them years
yourself?
ago, man. I think my mom picked them up somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah,
Kind of want to.
they're
Try a pair.
ridiculous. They're absolutely ridiculous. But I'm telling you,
Do
once
they make a ton of racket?
Oh yeah, and the problem is they're extremely slippery. So you don't want to be on any sort of wetness because
Really?
yeah, it's got no grip on it. It's flat out wood.
Huh.
And so
they
walking down the
lacquered?
driveway, no, they're nude. Walking down the driveway is fine, but if you hit a little bit of moisture, you're going down. So you got to wear them on the right day.
Yeah. Should scuff them up a little bit on the bottom.
Yeah, I've done that a little bit, but it still doesn't
work.
Doesn't solve it.
Interesting.
Ha!
Yeah, I'd love to get a pair. I don't even know where you'd get a pair.
I'll bring them in. I think they're in a box at this point, but I'll bring them in.
Yeah.
And I'll let you.
It sounds like
Yeah,
they
I
got to
know.
be a perfect fit. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
I have some, but they're baby ones. They're from when I was a baby.
Yeah, you can't put on wooden shoes that are too small.
Obviously.
You can put on wooden shoes that are too big, and I think you'll get the sense of it that I'm describing.
be very
um,
clod hoppery.
yeah. Very cloggy.
I found them on the internet. We can get you some, Mike. They're
What-
actually
what are they
they're not
going for
they're not even
nowadays?
too bad. You can get some hand carved wedding wooden shoes for $112. I mean,
That's a little steeper than I thought. To be
oh,
honest.
okay. Well, then you get your plain sanded wooden shoes for $36.95.
Okay, that's what I must have. They're totally nude,
Yeah.
just very plain, but they have the little thing at the top, just like little Dutch boy would have.
Yeah.
There we go, baby. That's them.
Is that them?
Yep, that's them.
Wow, those are nude.
Yep, totally nude.
There's no finish on those at all. Those are just
Well, it's there for you to. It's like a blank slate for you to decide how you want to.
so you
design.
can paint them.
You could paint. You could lacquer.
Wow.
Do whatever you want.
Interesting. Oh wow. Yeah. People
Put
are painting them.
fake little ties on them. Like
Yep.
that.
It is pretty nuts to see them dance around on these. When I was in Holland, I did the Tulip Festival, and they absolutely did, march down the street and did dances in these things. It was pretty nuts, actually.
Can you imagine a less practical medium to use when designing something for footwear?
Yeah.
Wood?
Wood.
Honestly, like how did they get into that? Why would they do that?
Metal perhaps would be worse. Maybe.
I guess.
No, but even metal, like wood, when it comes to rain and stuff.
I would worry about splinters. Do you get splinters
No,
wearing
they're
wood shoes?
Nope. I would suggest wearing socks with them. I wear socks with them, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been
Here we go. Check them out.
This is actually kind of cool.
No, it's not.
Look at the porta
No.
potties in the background. Something's just wrong about that.
This is the boring one. I'm talking when they get going crazy.
Listen
You
to
hear
that.
them just click.
Yeah.
They sound like horses.
So you notice the dry weather. Nobody's doing that if it's slick out.
No.
No way.
Wow, what an existence, dude. Fuck.
They're wearing wooden shoes. How do you not resolve like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to throw some leather on my feet
Yeah.
or some fabric of some sort. It's
Well-
the same thing with like Asians and chopsticks. How do you resolve that? Two little things,
Yeah.
pointing them together like that is the most effective way. How
Don't
do you
use
not
that
go,
for soup, dude?
I'm going to use one instrument
Yeah.
to grab, to poke and grab at things.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to use two things.
Two sticks, two straight things with no
But
forks on them.
that's all they use though. We use a fork, a knife, and a spoon. They only use chopsticks. They don't use a spoon. They
Yeah,
don't
but
use
we
a
can
knife.
eat one-handed. I guess they do too, but
Well, obviously they've developed great skill in doing this. They've done it for centuries. But I'm saying, why would that have been where you go? It's so counterintuitive to me. You have a thing sitting there. Why would you go, yeah, I'm going to grab these two sticks and I'm going to manipulate them such that I could possibly pick that up?
Right.
yeah.
No, you'd go, look, there's the thing I want. Boom, stab it, eat.
Well, it's like, dude.
Well, it'd be better if you made a skewer out of it and just put a point on the end of your one and then
Right.
just harpoon things. That would make more
Well,
sense.
Seinfeld has a bit about that. The idea of like, dude, they were farming, right? They like, he's like, you had, they weren't on their, with a stick. You have like the,
What are you talking about, E?
Wow, that's the single most boring sentence I ever heard.
About the chopsticks.
Where are you going with it?
Just saying, like, how you're right, how ridiculous
He's
it is.
saying
Why
the
would they just-
technology was known then.
Right, like
that-
they were using pitchforks and
Hoes and
stuff.
pitchforks.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, so it's like, dude, what were they? Didn't they notice that this was easier? They weren't
You've
out
seen
there.
the concept of a fork-like
Right.
instrument.
Yeah.
But
I
how
don't
can
get
you
it.
say that? Do you know how they farmed back in the BC times in
I don't-
Asia? Do
I
you
bet
actually
they-
know that?
I bet they didn't go around with one stick, just going like this, tilling.
You a hoe? You don't think they would use
Maybe
a hoe?
maybe they had two big. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
don't
don't
know.
think so, but maybe.
I can't of all the things that were shown in that video, there's so many things to take issue with as far as like your choice in wear.
Are you criticizing
To-
the
to-
Dutch?
To single out the shoes, I mean,
Yeah, you could start
every-
from head and go to toe.
and go to
right?
toe. Yeah, literally everything they were wearing there was like, oh,
Sort of the bonnet look. and-
yeah,
yeah.
and like any of it.
We live
So-
in a good place and a good time, don't we?
We sure do. Yes. Did you know Taylor Swift was a racist?
I heard that. Yeah,
Can you believe that? I had no idea she was such a racist.
I heard that just today.
Awesome. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Her new single has been condemned for being racist. Or actually, her new video, which is, and they say it's racist and based on a glamorous white colonial fantasy. Critics slammed the video for
You know what's-
wildest dreams.
They did this with her with the Shake It Off video.
Yeah.
People said that was racist because she had the twerking or
Ooh, we have
whatever.
a pattern now, a
Breakdancing
pattern.
and twerking.
Yeah.
It is such a stretch where this is going. Like, you guys want to see the video?
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess.
I mean, we can watch just a little bit of it. It doesn't. I was waiting for something like, okay, where is it going to be?
The guy like in the white hood.
Yeah, like being celebrated. She
Yeah.
takes the hood off and makes out with him.
Yeah.
The burning crosses in the background.
Nothing.
Something.
A lynching, a public lynching.
Absolutely. Then you could go, oh yeah, wow, I never would have thought that from her. They're saying that it has a mostly white cast, mainly white
So
cast.
that's why is it racist? Because of the white cast, or you said because of something about the showing of glamorizing white lifestyle?
White
or?
colonial fantasy. The story is of two 1950s era movie stars played by Swift and Scott Eastwood. Is that Clint's kid?
No idea.
Filming on location in Africa. Music fans rushed to Twitter with one describing it as colonial garbage. Another said it represented the rich white fantasies of Africa in the 50s. The director...
Hold on. Before you go, let's assume it does, right? Like, what does Taylor Swift have to do with that? She's just showing up and going through the motions of acting in this stupid video.
No, you're totally right.
You think she's like writing this video and directing and producing it?
Of course not. The director, Joseph Kahn, insists the video is a love story, has no political agenda. Two black actors are included playing soldiers, only appear in the background, with the rest of the mock film crew being white. NPR's Vivian Rudabingwa said, "We are shocked to think that in 2015, Taylor Swift, her record label, and her video production group would think it was okay to film a video that presents a glamorous version of the white colonial fantasy of Africa. Swift's music is entertaining for many. She should absolutely be able to use any location as a backdrop, but she packages our continent as the backdrop for her romantic songs devoid of any African person or storyline, and she sets the video in a time when the people depicted by Swift and her co-stars killed, dehumanized, and traumatized many millions of Africans. This is beyond problematic."
Oh my God.
The Daily Dot wrote, "An homage to a love triangle about white colonialists is going to present some challenges to an artist who just wants to make a 3-minute music video for her Vivo page. And Taylor Swift found that out the hard way. Even the most casual observer would have noticed that for a clip that's set in Africa, it's about as white as a Sunday morning farmer's market."
I guess I need to see this, Mike.
Did she find out the hard way? Do you think she's really worried about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
think so.
I doubt it.
I don't know. The internet mob might be on her. We'll
She's
see.
got a shit ton of money, even if it ended now.
Ooh, a giraffe.
Yep.
He said, "Let's get out of this town."
Okay, she's sitting there being made up.
Away from the crowd. I thought heaven can't help
Two
me
white
now.
girls working on her.
Nothing lasts forever.
There's a white guy.
There's the
I think
main
I saw
actor.
two black guys in the background.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be Clint Eastwood's kid.
Yeah.
It is. It's his youngest son.
He had that stare.
Say you remember me standing in a nice dress, staring at the sunset.
Not a bad song.
Okay, they're kind of just embracing and
It's just in your wildest dreams.
It's a video crew that's set up for a shot in Africa. Now, if you showed a bunch of people running around as like
natives
representing
or something.
natives and they were all white,
Yeah, with like bones in their noses or something.
yeah, you could then, I think you could say something. But this is depicting like a 1950s film crew from Hollywood who flew to shoot in Africa. Like, what do you think that would look like?
Yeah.
If anything, you would go, there wouldn't be a couple of black hands on the set in the 1950s.
Yeah, this is a reach, Mike.
Yeah.
What
What do you think of the song, E?
It's all right.
Love that hook, don't you? E?
I
It's not
really
sing it, E. Sing it, E.
I don't know it yet, but I'm sure I will get it in my head now.
Wow, the streams.
You got this, Mike.
I very much
You
hate
had
to,
it. You had it. Why'd you let it go?
Nah. Feel like I'm being the butt of the joke. I gotta be honest with you.
No, you're not. I very much hate to admit that as much as I don't like, I kind of like Taylor Swift.
Did you see that proofs?
There's a lot of proofs in this video.
Manganese lion proofs. Horse proofs.
This is ridiculous,
Like
man.
I could have watched this 30 times and it never would have occurred to me. But I guess
Yeah.
I'm just a white guy.
Yeah.
That this was somehow racist or some sort of slant on any race.
I mean, to declare someone a racist for this is laughable.
Yeah,
or
that's
so
the thing.
ignorant in its production and depiction. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
You're right. If you the one thing,
If this is what constitutes racism in 2015, I think we're in a pretty damn good place.
and then actually, wait a
to
minute.
be
Look at
honest
this.
with you.
Look at it in the end here. In the end, it's actually just a backdrop. So it's really that more saying that the whole thing was just them in a sound studio making it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not
serious.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? In the end, it actually shows them just with a backdrop. So
I don't know how that cuts. I don't know how that cuts.
okay, well,
I see what you're saying. They
You know,
weren't even in Africa.
that's my thought process
Yes.
when I look at it. Is I don't even think they were. I mean, for the video they made it, but really, I think in the video they weren't in Africa.
The director.
Wow, that's the single most boring sentence I ever heard.
The director says Wildest Dreams is a song about a relationship that was doomed, and the music video concept was that they were having a love affair on location away from their normal lives. This is not a video about colonialism, but a love story on the set of a period film crew in Africa in 1950. There are black Africans in the video in a number of shots, but I rarely cut to crew faces outside of the director, as the vast majority of screen time is Taylor and Scott. The reality is not only were there people of color in the video, but the key creatives who worked on this video are people of color. I am Asian. The producer is black. The editor is black. We cast and edited the video. We collectively decided it would have been historically inaccurate to load the crew with more black actors, as the video would have been accused of rewriting history. The video is set in the past by a crew set in the present, and we're all proud of our work. There's no political agenda. Our only goal was to tell a tragic love story in classic Hollywood iconography.
Why would anyone want to be an artist right now? I don't even get it. Why would you want to do anything involving? Then everything can be racist.
What is the definition of colonialism? Because I
didn't see.
I see that
didn't
as
see
like
either.
as Mike described, like this team on location in Africa shooting a video of some sort.
Yeah,
it didn't. Yeah,
What is colonialism?
The policy or practice of acquiring full or partial political control over another country, occupying it with settlers, and exploiting it economically.
Wow.
Isn't that a bit of a jump?
Yeah, that's quite a jump. That's
So
quite
the
a
premise is that's depicting colonialism. Is it really?
Yeah. Looks like a crew rented some space from a park and flew in on location to do a shoot. This is the dumbest conversation we're even having.
Well,
about
let's
this.
fix this in post. Cut it all. It's ridiculous.
By the way, Taylor Swift is giving 100% of the proceeds from this video to like African parks and to be spent on the Village People. That are there. Not the band, the Village People, but the local villagers. That would be weird if she was giving it to the Village
Yeah,
People.
she's just a huge YMCA fan.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite Village person, Mike?
Was it the gay Indian or the gay cop?
Or the gay construction worker?
The gay construction worker.
Who else was in it? Gay Indian, gay cop, gay construction. Oh, we've got like the biker guy, right?
Oh yeah, the gay biker guy. Oh, a cowboy.
Oh yeah. Look at him with his little chaps.
Yep.
How could we forget the chaps?
Look at that
Watch
headdress.
the chaps go. Come on, E, you know this one. This is your favorite at Pistons
This
games.
is your jam,
I
Holmes.
did use to love
Used
this
to
at a
stand
Pistons
up and
game.
do it?
Oh.
Totally.
Come on,
wonder who
E,
they're
stand up and
playing.
go. Stand up and
I'm
go.
not
Come on, E, you got
Get
this.
on your
I'm
feet,
not-
Pistons
Bow, bow.
fans.
It's fun to stay at the
YMCA. Come on, E.
Doing it. Why did they write a song about the YMCA?
Because they're gay guys and they're referencing like young boys.
Young Men's
Christian Association. Look at those chaps go.
Why did this become such a big song at athletic, like Piston games? And
Because it gets you out of your seat, man. Come on, it's got
It
a
did-
funky little dance you can do.
It served its purpose. You leapt out of your seat.
I did used to love the song.
Would you do it? Would you be in the stands just YMCA in it?
When I was a kid, as I grew older, I didn't necessarily do it, but it usually meant a big point of the game. They'd hit some big three, the whole crowd be going crazy, you know what I mean? And then this would kick in.
I like how the cop wears like the helmet, He's wearing
Yeah.
like a Chips helmet or something.
This is the gayest video ever.
Yeah, it's not
What
good.
about the C? They did I'm trying to think. The one about the Navy. That's pretty gay too.
In the Navy.
It's
Did they
amazing
have-
when you look back at these old videos, how gay they all look. Like when I look back at Judas Priest videos, like the greatest metal band, one of the greatest metal bands ever, and it's like, oh,
well, wait, isn't that
How-
Rob
Halford,
yeah,
yes,
who's
who was
gay.
just banging dudes
Yeah.
backstage all night long, but you never even thought about it at the time.
Did they have a song that wasn't overtly I mean, I don't know their best albums, as it were. But I only know about 3, probably.
These are the only 2 songs I know by the Village People.
I know. Isn't Macho Man the Village People, or
Yeah.
is that not?
Macho Man. Oof, he's hung up his police officer outfit and donned an admiral outfit.
But we still have a cop here, or we still have the biker.
I love it. They're the Village People, and so these are all representative of individuals in our village. So we
Yeah.
have an Indian, Native American, sorry.
Yeah.
A cowboy.
The biker, and an admiral.
God, it's so bad. He's a highly decorated admiral. You see that?
He sure is.
Yeah.
Does he have 4 stars on his shoulder?
That son of a bitch.
Wow.
Andy can sing and dance.
Were these supposed to be political, or I'm being very serious. I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, let's take a quick time out. Get away from the Village People and Taylor Swift. What have we come to? We'll tell you about Jimmy Snuka,
Superfly.
Superfly Snuka, and also Miss Piggy or
Oh,
Kermit.
I've got a beef with this, Mike.
Do you? All right. Well, we'll discuss next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast on a Thursday with Mike and Jay. And I think we were both wrestling fans. Early.
Somewhat. Yeah, somewhat. I don't know how you get through 4th or 5th grade without being interested in that somewhat.
And I know we've talked in a little bit about it, like, but it was definitely the days, the WWF,
yes,
World Wrestling Federation, with Roddy Piper,
George the Animal Steel,
totally,
Hulk Hogan,
yeah, Jimmy
Andre the
Superfly
Giant.
Snuka.
Who? I don't even know who that is. It's not even in the records anymore.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is either. Apparently, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. He was the Ultimate Warrior. Was probably my favorite.
He came along a bit after though.
Snuka.
So you must have hung in there with wrestling then, because Ultimate Warrior I think came along after I was kind of done with it.
Really,
like Macho Man got big with Elizabeth, and I was kind of on my way out at that point.
Yeah. How old were we then? Like grade school, middle school?
I think I was watching that shit for a little bit in 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what I remember, because I remember being into the Monkees in junior high. And I think my wrestling days were over once I got in tune to the Monkees.
Those two don't seem to jibe.
Well, they were having a resurgence. I mean, the Monkees were way before our time.
My shaving razor's cold and it stings.
Ding, ding, ding.
Cheer up, Sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Come on, E.
I don't know. I only
of
know
me as a white knight on his steed.
That's bad, I know.
Yeah. But
It's a
yeah,
guilty
I
pleasure,
remember
the
getting
Monkees.
into the Monkees. Weren't they on MTV?
Ooh, I don't know.
I think they were on MTV.
I remember
When
I'm
we
on
first
Channel
got-
20.
You do?
Like back in the day. Yeah, this is back like you'd watch like Gilligan's Island and shit on Channel 50. You'd watch Brady Bunch and stuff like that. Like late in the day, early evening, like dinner time, and the Monkees would be on, I think, Channel 20 around then.
I think they were on like right after school when we were in middle school. They would have been on like when you first got home from school, the Monkees would be on, I think, on MTV or one of those.
How does this relate to Jimmy Superfly Snuka?
Well, it doesn't, but
just stream of consciousness.
Sort of stream of consciousness. But no, I was saying that by the time I got into the Monkees, I think I was done with
You
the
left
rest.
Snuka behind.
Yeah, I left all of that behind. So, but I remember Jimmy Superfly Snuka off the top rope.
Absolutely. Yeah, he did the huge leap off the top, right?
Yeah, he was amazing. He's been charged with murder, 3rd-degree murder of his a former girlfriend from 30 plus years ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The death of Nancy Argentino. She was found unconscious in a motel. Oh, yeah. Okay. What was
Nancy Argentino?
Yeah. Argentino. I remember banging her. Yeah. Okay. He's 72. He's charged with 3rd-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter. A grand jury determined he repeatedly assaulted Argentino in May of 83 in the hotel and then left her in bed to die. His assaultive acts and his failure to act to obtain medical attention resulted in her death, the grand jury wrote. And the DA, Jim Martin, announced the charges 2 years after the case was reopened because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He wrote a book.
Oh, Snuka.
And there were just contradictory things that were said. Yeah,
Snuka, you were free and clear, man. Just
Right.
walk away.
And you know that you got away with it. You can't think that you didn't. You know.
I know it's crazy that people, but I think it was a big enough story that the worry was if I leave it out of my book,
maybe don't write a
it's
book.
going to look. I know, but he needs money.
Or you could just say in your book what you said before and not change your story.
Yeah,
that's an option.
That's true. Maybe. Well,
This,
lies are
um,
hard to keep track of once you start lying.
There was
he knows that.
No, I know.
Personal experience.
I do.
Have you ever heard of Morning Call? Morning Call. I think it's like wrestling stuff, and they write, but they kind of conducted their own investigation into this, and that's kind of what reopened this case.
A wrestling show investigation?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what Morning Call is.
Hard hitting.
I thought I read that Morning Call had something to do with wrestling, but they were obviously disturbed enough about the details of this case. And it said it prompted the grand jury in 2013 that raised questions about the Argentino case 30 years after her death. The Morning Call story revealed a never-before-seen autopsy report that labeled the case a homicide. Snuka is not in jail right now. He was processed and then released.
How old did you say he is now?
72.
Damn, man.
Wrestlers don't live to 72. He's recovering from stomach cancer, which is why they're like, yeah, you go. We don't want the state picking up the tab on your costly stomach cancer bullshit. So we'll take your passport. Thank you very much. And, don't leave from your phone. And so they sent him home. Carries a maximum of 20 to 40 years in prison. The grand jury reviewed police reports, medical and autopsy evidence, and statements Snuka made in media interviews and in his autobiography in 2012 about what happened to Argentino. He said back then, my personal life started to get a little crazy. In 83, because of frequent use of alcohol, steroids, and coke. The review also looked into his history of domestic violence against Argentino and a former wife. They go on to say May 10th is the date, 1983. He was taping a WWF event. He returned to this Motor Lodge hotel room to find her gasping for air and oozing yellow fluid from her mouth and nose. I didn't know we oozed yellow fluid if you popped us. Doesn't sound good. Paramedics arrived. They found Snuka, a police officer, and 2 other wrestlers there. Argentino was unconscious, barely breathing. She had dilated pupils, indicating she had a head injury. She was likely in shock of traumatic brain injuries. She'd suffered 39 cuts and bruises, possible mate abuse. They were thinking on her head, ear, chin, arms, back, buttocks, legs, and feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did a number on her.
The autopsy also determined her injuries were consistent with being hit with a stationary object about 12 to 24 hours before she died. They wrote the case should be investigated as a homicide way back then. Besides the evidence, one of the biggest factors for charges was his inconsistent statements. God, those inconsistent statements.
Rough.
They trip you up every time.
Why did it take so long to charge this guy? He's probably the prime suspect from the beginning.
Yeah, I wonder if his celebrity had anything to do with it. They will tell you no, but
quote unquote celebrity.
Well, back in '83, would have been a big enough celebrity. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, come on,
off the top rope.
Yeah,
I remember it well.
Snuka originally told at least 5 people, including the responding officer, he shoved Argentino earlier in the day, causing her to fall and hit her head.
See, that'd be enough.
Yeah,
right. You find this lady in that state, all beat up and shit. You've got her boyfriend who admits that.
Yeah, you don't even want him to be admitting that. What is he?
Charge his ass.
He later told police 5 people misunderstood him. Everybody just misunderstood him when he was saying I pushed her and she hit her head.
What I meant was,
yeah, he
does
said
does he speak clear English? I'm asking that seriously. Isn't he Samoan or something?
Yeah,
Polynesian
Hawaiian
of some sort.
Yeah, but still,
right,
if you're telling people, I mean,
I just wondered if he was from some other country, but
yeah, I think so. He says then he changed the story, saying that she had slipped and hit her head when they stopped along the highway to urinate.
Yeah, no, that's
he couldn't remember.
right.
It's one or the other.
God,
I heard him. He was on Opie and Anthony went for this book tour.
Oh God!
And they asked him about this. And and he didn't want to talk about it, and he was put on the spot. It was really kind of uncomfortable to listen to, and they didn't stay on it long. They didn't press him all that much, but he told that story, and I think they referenced the couple interviews he did that was mentioned this as being part of this investigation. So who knows if they'll get deposed or whatnot. But yeah, he was like, I was just sitting in the car minding my own business, you see, and she went to urinate, and then it was taking forever. And then I found her laying there, and she'd tried to jump over a brook and slipped and hit her head on a rock.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, wow, that's tragic.
And then she ends up in a motel beaten to shit.
Yeah. He changed. He talked to the hospital chaplain and this other guy, giving both men different accounts of how she died. We believe it is important to note that Snuka changed the location of the injuries in his discussion with the chaplain to happening on the highway traveling to this motor lodge. but still admitted that she sustained her injury after he shoved her and she fell backward, hitting her head on the concrete. He told the chaplain that Argentino told him she had a headache when they got to the motel and wanted to go to bed. He went to dinner or to a diner to get them food. Even though Argentino said she wasn't hungry, Snuka stated the victim passed out in the room and hit her head on the side of the chair or bed.
All kinds of mishaps occurring.
But he kept checking on her. You know, he was worried about her.
That's good. Even though he went to record the the show.
Yeah. He kept checking and she was breathing okay. Yeah.
This lady just keeps falling all over. It gets worse and worse as the day goes on.
The balance on this one is unbelievable.
He's a klutz.
He left for work in the afternoon because, you know, he's got to pay the bills. He left for work, came back, and then left again to tape a television show. When he came back around 9 p.m., yellow stuff was coming out of her nose and face. He knew something was wrong then. He called for help.
Someone was awry.
Snuka gave 7 versions of Argentino's death that night and morning. And
But how is he not charged until 2015?
I don't know. I wish I could answer that. That doesn't make sense.
How the fuck
Celebrity?
does this happen? Quote unquote. Again, he's not. It's not like he's Bill Cosby at that point.
True,
But Superfly Snuka.
Yeah. Okay. Off the top rope.
Why you keep doing Randy Macho?
I don't
Man?
know. I'm falling between Macho Man and Snuka. Can we hear Snuka talk? Okay.
I don't remember him ever talking.
He in the book, he also discussed his arrest on charges of assaulting Argentino in a hotel room near Syracuse, New York, 4 months before her death. His account differed from the official police report. That day, 2 police deputies arrived and observed Snuka dragging the naked woman down the hallway by her hair. She was draped in a blanket. Who hasn't been there a time or two?
It's the caveman move.
Yeah,
We've all
it's a
done
great
that.
move. He was charged with assault, resisting, and obstruction, but later pleaded guilty to reduced charges and paid a fine that was donated to charity. The grand jury also heard testimony from his former wife. She said that there were a series of beatings she sustained during arguments with her husband in the fall of '83 that resulted in her being hospitalized. In '85, the Argentino family won a $500,000 wrongful death case against Snuka by default. He never paid because he claimed he was broke and couldn't afford a legal defense. In his autobiography, he maintained his innocence. Many terrible things have been written about me hurting Nancy and being responsible for her death, but they are not true. This has been very hard on me, very hard on my family. I bet it has. To this day, I get nasty notes and threats. It hurts. I never hit Nancy or threatened her. The 2 cops witnessed you drag her down the hallway by her hair. So anyway.
God, what a miscarriage of justice it seems. All right, here he is. Here's Snuka challenging Vince McMahon.
You know, I'm not knocking Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is a genius to the form of professional wrestling.
That's
Give
Snuka?
credit where it's due. But when it came to the Superfly, he came back in 1989 after being away from WWF for quite some time, for the rest of the 80s. You come back, everybody's happy. They welcome you with open arms.
I don't think this is.
Butt your feet. Make you.
You see, brother.
There he is.
Oh, yeah. Nobody. Okay. Tells me. If you want me to put on boots, I'll put it on because I want to put it on.
I want to put it on.
But, brother, this is the questions for whatever you've been asking me. Colonel De Beers, Ronnie Piper, whatever all names in generation of this world.
Seems like a pretty smart guy.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Vince
And
McMahon,
I think he'd
all
be
he
easy to
needs
understand.
is to give me a call and say, brother, I need you. I need you now. I need you today. Because you're the man can still tell me, can you do it?
Can you
The question is, with all you wonderful people out there in TV Wonderland, can you dig it? Would you
dig it?
Would you like to see it again? Would you like to see the Superfly fly from the top of the cage today? Can you dig?
Can you dig it?
You know, Jimmy.
God, what a mess.
That's from 2007. I wonder. Or
What
it says
an
it was
absolute mess.
It says it was loaded in 2007. I don't know if that means that's when the interview was from.
In '89.
The interview didn't look that old to me, though. It didn't look like
It didn't look
2007.
89 old. Yeah, you're right.
And it's like that's the most ridiculous thing with the WWE is that once in a while they'll bring back these old guys and they'll be in a match, and it's like, dude, it's already fake. But then when you have like, you know, him, he's gonna face The Rock, or
He
you
looks
know,
all droopy, like right there.
some young dude, and it's like somehow it's like a close match, and it's like, dude, you can't make it obvious that it's fake, I guess, but whatever.
Anyway. So yeah, third-degree murder charges. It'll be interesting to see where that goes, but you can't. What's with people changing their stories? I've never understood that.
Got to stick with it, right?
Yeah.
Boom, here's my story, and that's it. Take it to the grave.
Am I wrong about what that means when people change their story? Obviously, he had some drastic
Goes to
changes.
his credibility, Mike. We know that with
this
fuckface over here.
But does that mean like, does it usually when someone says, they changed their story, when you hear a lawyer say that or a cop say that, does that usually mean I pushed her and then she hit her head on a rock? Yeah. Or does it, and then they come back and they go, she was taking a nap because she had a headache and she rolled off the bed and bumped her noggin on the table. Oh yeah.
Seems like a change of story like that would lead to charges.
Yeah. But does it always mean that, or does it mean, can it be much more subtle things?
I mean, it could be any variance of things. I don't know. I've been in depositions where people change their stories within an hour, just little wrinkles, just to try.
Yeah,
feel like it makes themselves look better.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
You got to keep it simple. You can really got to have and then
is there any better defense than I don't know? Like, I don't know, man. I'm sitting in the car. She was going to take a whiz.
This happened. Boom.
I was expecting
come over the garden hose
for a couple minutes. And then
she doesn't return. I go to look where she is. Oh my
and
God, she's laying on the ground.
And there's yellow shit falling out of her face.
And then just boom.
And that's the story we're going with. You lawyer up.
But then you say that and you go, but is that reasonable then for me to carry her to a hotel and leave her there and not get help?
But
so then you start, oh boy, well, maybe I happened upon her later. And
yeah,
he's just an idiot. The guy's a fucking idiot.
Right.
Bottom line.
I just don't think it matters if it reasons later. I think you have to make it up, and whether it reasons or not, you gotta just go
ride
with
it home, baby.
Right?
Yeah,
you can't
lose credibility. In
but
that
apparently
moment,
you
need your
can. The guy
credibility.
changed it 7 times in one day and wasn't charged until 30 years later.
Yeah.
This sounds like just complete incompetence on the side of the prosecutors and the cops.
How hilarious if he goes to trial and gets murdered. He's gonna be 30 years ago. Now he's a 7-year-old. Who cares now?
Well, like Mike said, he's got stomach cancer. He's probably on his way out.
Right. Look at the jail he's gonna go into anyway. And with stomach cancer,
You don't think it's right to prosecute him?
no, I think you should. But I'm just saying, for him, he won already. Who cares? As a 70-year-old man, he's just gonna go into some shitty.
He got his final good decades in.
Yeah. Yep. Should we go on to Miss Piggy, Kermit?
Why the hell, dude? Before we get there, let me say this. Our buddy David Helm wants you to know, if you're thinking about divorce, there's no better time than right now. I love that line.
It's true. There's no better time than
As
now.
a special incentive for Detroit Cast fans, Helm Law is offering flat fee divorces starting at $3,000.
Perfect.
A divorce can be extremely expensive, and this offer will not last. So take advantage now and call Helm Law at 248-679-8804 or go online at helmlawpc.com to set up your free consultation.
I need an attorney, and I need one now.
Especially as we move towards the holidays. Remember, again, you don't want to be at fucking Thanksgiving.
You're in that zone right now. You got to get this done. If you're going to do it, get it done because it'll open up your holidays.
If you've even been
drastically.
thinking about it, like, I'm sick of this, blah, blah, blah.
You make it through the holidays. You don't have any bullshit you got to do for the holidays. And then maybe you
have a secretary who's been looking pretty good recently.
Yeah. Maybe you got to do something by Valentine's Day next year. You're looking towards February with a new one.
The worst thing to do is sitting at that freaking Thanksgiving table resenting this bitch, and you're like, if I'd only spent $3,000,
I would have only listened to Eric at the Detroit Cast. Could have gotten out before I was at this damn holiday party.
$10,000 to get the divorce.
Do you really want to go to her company work party? Oh,
it's worth it just to not have to go to that, if anything.
Dude,
yeah.
You just reminded me of company work parties.
Oh no.
Oh,
are we gonna have a company?
No, I don't want to go into it. Yeah, are we gonna?
Are we gonna have a Christmas party?
Absolutely not. That's company policy. There's no such thing as a company work party here.
It is an LLC.
Nope.
No company work party.
Did you not have good times at?
No, nothing remarkable. Like nobody. Well, there was one time, but I'll go into it the holiday times when it's more appropriate.
Okay, people remember that. I need people to log that because I won't remember that. Jay
I might have told it last.
I'll probably remember when the holidays come up and we talk about holiday parties.
The subject of holiday parties will come up many times between Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, after 40 years together, Kermit could have used David Helm. They've officially ended their relationship, Kermit and Miss Piggy.
I never thought
Why were they together anyway? A fucking frog and a pig. Where
does
was
seem a
Henson going with that?
I don't know what
I actually never thought they were officially together. I always thought that was that back.
She
and
was
forth,
always
like-
making him chase her, right?
Right.
She was kind of a cunt. I gotta be honest.
I
with you. She
always
was
thought
really a
that, and I
bitch.
thought she was nasty.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought
She was a
"Ugh,
pig, dude.
She was a pig.
Like-
she is a pig.
Like the
I
definition.
never understood what Kermit saw in her. She was a bitch all the time
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
Kermit seems like a good guy.
She seemed abusive, to be honest with you. She'd go off on a dime.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Remember singing that?
Yes.
Did you have to sing that in school?
I don't remember singing it in school.
How about the one with Fozzie Bear, Moving Right Along? You didn't have to sing that in school?
How does it go?
I had it moving right along.
It's beautiful country out here.
Yeah, beautiful country out here. Seeing America.
Moving right along in search of good times and good.
Oh, I didn't know
news.
Kermit was a
With
lefty.
Good friends you can't lose.
Playing that banjo like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, he is.
Opportunity knocks once. Let's reach out and grab it. Together we'll nab it.
We'll hitchhike bus or yellow cabin.
No seatbelts.
Moving right along.
It's not good.
But loose and fancy free.
Get in
Well,
there and half the fun.
Fozzie sucked too, by the way.
Fozzie did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bold statement.
Didn't like him.
No. What didn't you like? His voice or
His whole
look?
bit, man. He was a stand-up comic. Remember that?
Oh, he was a terrible comic.
Yes, he was awful. He just told the dumbest, and that was the whole shtick. He's
Yeah.
gonna tell dumb jokes and try to get laughs, but I don't like it, man.
Yeah.
There's the fork in the road. Do you see it?
Was there?
Yeah.
God.
Well, Kermit and Miss Piggy have broken up officially. It seems this time they're not going back. They say Kermit is banging a new chick, and it's a pig again.
What is
Denise.
his deal?
I don't know.
Why are they matching a frog and a pig? I don't understand it.
I don't know. A source says that he's calling her his girlfriend. There she is.
She is way better
Oh,
looking
She's hotter. Yeah,
than Miss
definitely.
Piggy.
She doesn't have the tits that Piggy had.
She has beautiful eyes, though.
She's got gorgeous eyes. Yeah. I guess she's a reboot of a.
But I don't even understand what is going on. There's not like a new show. This is just a thing.
Yeah, there is.
Oh.
There's a new ABC.
What is going on? I thought you were going to be more like broader.
No,
the whole
I just meant
frog and the pig thing. That's what I'm stuck on. I can't get over it. They're not even the same kingdom, let alone species.
Yeah.
Are they the same kingdom? Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species?
Right. You're asking this room?
No, they're not even the same kingdom.
Yeah.
It's a fucking amphibian.
My
You're right.
She's a mammal.
blasphemy.
Well, Denise is the new pig. They say she's a recycled character from the Muppet Spamela Hamderson.
What?
I didn't realize there was such a show or movie or whatever.
Yeah, well, that was a character name, Spamela Hamderson, which I obviously I don't like right away.
Yeah, I wonder if she'd get a selfie there.
What can I say? I'm attracted to pigs. Kermit
There she
said.
is, dude. Look at
Wow,
Spamela
that was a character?
Hamderson.
Wow, look at the
The
titties,
titties
on
on
her.
that pig.
She's pretty attractive.
Is that the Baywatch bikini? Is that
She
what
is
that's supposed
way
to be?
better looking than Miss Piggy, though.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that high cut bikini.
Very nice.
Yeah, would you?
Maybe.
That seems highly inappropriate for a children's show.
Was
I gotta be
Miss
honest with
Piggy
you.
basically like Marilyn Monroe in pig form? Is that what they were going
Yeah,
after?
maybe.
Didn't she have kind of like that that white kind of flowing dress like Marilyn has the famous picture
Oh yeah,
in? Is that what they were going after?
maybe.
And the
I'm not
blonde
sure.
hair on Piggy. Can
Yeah.
you throw up an image of just
That seemed,
standard Piggy?
You're right though. That seemed really inappropriate for.
Yeah, what is going on? They're like sexualizing this pig.
I thought Piggy changed her outfit a lot, but yeah, there's the white dress you're talking about.
No, she was in that a
That
lot.
definitely has a Marilyn Monroe.
Or maybe like a Princess Grace or something.
That nose is
With the
horrible.
gloves.
The nose.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
whole
pig
pig
nose.
nose thing. What was just her standard look like on the Muppet Show? I'm remembering her just in like that white.
I thought I remember
dress
her in
look.
different outfits all the time.
Maybe so.
Anyway, yeah. So there's the Muppets premiere on September 22nd at 8 on the ABC. You guys gonna be watching? Think your daughter will get into that?
Well, we don't have cable.
Oh, that's right.
So we don't have
It's on
really
regular TV.
access to that.
Got access
Maybe I
through
can
my
Slingbox.
Slingbox.
It's on ABC, Jay.
I know that's what he was just saying. Maybe I
Yeah.
can throw it on Slingbox and because that antenna doesn't work for me. Were you here when we were talking about that, Mick?
I was not.
I've
And I don't
got-
listen to the show.
That's true. I've got a normal HD antenna that I tried. I tried to go that route, and then it basically got whittled down to one channel that I could get if I was on a ladder holding it just so.
Jeez,
It got
that's
ridiculous, and that's when we went with the Slingbox.
Yeah, which is working again.
Yeah, so maybe Sweet Pie would like that.
Yeah, I bet she would. Perfect age for that.
Yeah.
Now we'll get to email and just
Did
a
they
bit here. I got a
real
couple
quick?
stories.
I know it doesn't matter, but do they explain why he has a new girl? They don't. That's just it. Is Miss Piggy
They
not
need
gonna?
storylines going into the new series,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
But
For
I mean,
shows
honestly,
like us to hype it.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll be checking it out, to be honest with you. But I was never a huge Muppet. There were certain things of the Muppets I liked.
I'm
but
with you, dude. I kind
not
of liked
Kermit and Piggy. Kermit and Piggy.
I
were not-
hated that whole storyline.
Yeah.
I liked Kermit generally. I think he's a likable fellow.
Yeah.
But other than that, did you like the two old guys sitting in the thing joking with each other?
I didn't mind them.
Didn't hate them.
Yeah.
But Gonzo was annoying. What was he, a dodo bird or something?
Yeah.
I kind of liked how they had like real people guests on there. Like they
Yeah.
had Mark Hamill once, which like
Yeah.
gave
I
me a
remember that.
rod. I remember that.
I loved Beaker,
Beaker was awesome.
the Swedish chef.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Pigs in Space was great.
I sort of remember that.
That whole bit.
Did they have like a pigs
in space? Yeah. Those kind of. Yeah, there it is.
That's right, man. I do remember that look. Those guys all in their shiny space outfits.
But Beaker and the Swedish Chef were probably my favorite. Like I like the outlying characters,
Yes, or like
more.
Animal, the drummer in that band.
Yeah. The chick that looks like the lawyer.
Jemana K-Ruse.
Yes.
The lead singer in the band.
Yeah. So yeah, there were some of those characters I liked, but as far as like, I'm with you, the Piggy and Kermie storyline.
It's
I could
almost
do
like
without.
the whole Henson thing kind of grabbed your attention as a kid, but as you watched it, you'd quickly lose it. Like we were too old for Sesame Street, but yet those characters sort of played in the Muppets. So I
Yeah.
can get into that, and then no, you lose it. Same with Fraggle Rock.
Yep. Never got
Down
into
to Fraggle Rock. Dun, dun.
Yep. Never
Yeah.
got into it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Some kids that probably will enjoy watching that show. Kids at a daycare. And we got a daycare, couple women arrested, unfortunately, as they had the kids fight clubbing. I love it. That's hilarious. And they worked at this place. They had a dozen children as young as 4, and they had them shoving each other in New Jersey. At least one day in August, they said this woman, Erica Kenny and Chanice White. Erica Kenny is 22, Chanice is 28. I wouldn't mind seeing what they look like.
And so they're taping it and throwing it
Oh
online.
wow, is that her, or is that one of the moms? Yeah, she's Kenny, the 22-year-old, is accused of recording a video of the children fighting on her cell phone and then sending the 10-second clip to friends on Snapchat. The women have been charged with 4th-degree child abuse. Kenny also faces an additional charge of 3rd-degree charge for endangering the welfare of a child. She can be heard on the clip referring to a fight club scene from the movie. I don't know what.
Is she just
said.
joking though as two little kids go at it, or is she really setting up these fights?
I don't know. We've got the video.
Because you could see a 22-year-old going, "Oh my god, look at these assholes," and
Yeah.
filming it and then sending it to her friend. Check these dickheads out.
Yeah.
This is what I deal with all day.
Let's see. You want to see the video?
Yeah. Come on, landscape. Come on, landscape. Of course not. Look at them go. They're so ineffective.
Yeah.
Get
Get him back. Nice.
Oh, God.
That was a good left.
That was a nice left from the
Wasn't
little
bad.
girl.
Yeah.
It's nap time over here right now, so all the teachers.
I gave them the tour of their location.
It looks like the girl kicked that kid's ass.
Yeah, the black girl.
Yeah.
Looks like she was doing some wailing. They discovered that someone recorded this. According to investigators, does not believe that any of the children were injured. Both women have been fired. Lightbridge Academy said, as parents and caregivers, we are shocked and saddened by this isolated incident. While no children
They
were
didn't
physically
even
harmed.
flinch. Those adults didn't even flinch.
No, they did
You know,
not.
they've done that many times
Oh
before.
yeah, we have a zero tolerance policy for anyone who acts in conflict with the core value of Lightbridge Academy, the safety and well-being of children. This incident has already concerned one mom who said her kid came home with a broken finger from there, and she was with those teachers or those caregivers. White is also a pastor, by the way. The 22-year-old.
Nice.
Faces up to 18 months in prison. Kenny could get 5 years in prison.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's some serious shit.
Yeah.
And I tried to find pictures of them. Their Facebooks are gone. You know what I mean? They're not there anymore.
That's too bad. One girl I would like to see pictures of, and I hope you can find her, is this Florida woman who's facing charges following a DUI and drug possession arrest after she offered to perform sex acts on police officers. Yeah. Okay. There she is.
There she is.
Yep. Officer Walters will accept.
The
Wow.
booking image. She's just smiling.
Yeah, she even doesn't look that bad even in the booking shot. Actually, it looks like she's trying to be sexy
dude.
in it.
Oh, I would absolutely take her up on this offer.
Oh yeah.
E?
Is that even a question?
Check her out, man.
She
offered it to 3.
Yeah. So her name is Ariel Engert. She was pulled over when police saw her car swerving at 2 a.m. She was also in possession of weed. After being transported to the jail, she's accused of telling the deputy Brian Sudbrink that she would blow him and do other things if he'd let her off the hook. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, what's
Like,
wrong with that?
that's just a no-brainer. I mean,
I wonder how often that happens. Chicks like that. You're drunk as shit.
Yeah.
She's looking at it going, oh my God.
Oh, it's going to cost me a fortune. I could just blow this guy and walk out of here.
At least check and see if he'll take it.
After a body search revealed she had some coke in her bra. What are you going to do? She faced she was faced with felony charges for narcotics possession and introducing contraband into a detention facility. So she's quick thinking, though. She offers to blow the other 2 officers.
No,
Double down.
Obed
you're in
Munoz
there,
and Eric Biddle. She offered them the same deal, and they also declined. What's the matter with these guys?
Yeah, well,
These guys
like
rookies. Yeah, who doesn't like a good beeger? I mean, what skin off you? I mean, what's the deal here? She's now her initial misdemeanors have snowballed into 3 separate bribery counts. Yeah, unfortunately, back in the good old day.
Oh my God! If this
You know
was
what I
my
mean?
time-
Like, yeah, you just get blown in the jail cell. I'll take that coke, thank you. Let me bump up real quick, and then you can start blowing me. I mean, that's just the way that shit went down.
Don't you think for real though? Like now, the problem is
But now it's too easy for her to go, oh my God, I totally blew this cop last night. And it's like, oh, thanks, blabbermouth. I let you go for a quick beeger, and now you're getting us in trouble.
Yeah, 15, 20 years ago, don't you think this happened all the time?
I would
Before
hope.
like
I would
Twitter
hope.
and before Instagram, before anyone, maybe she could do it to get out of the ticket, but then record it on her phone and then.
Yeah, I would imagine that would happen from time to time for sure.
Oh,
just out at the site of the arrest.
Look, you've got
site of the stop.
You've got 2 adult
They're
participants
consenting,
and they both have something to offer. You need a service that I could potentially provide for you. What are you willing to do for it?
Brutal.
We can avoid the court system. We can
give you a
avoid the whole
DUI.
legal thing. We could go the DUI route. I can absolutely do that. That's easy. That's easy for Officer Walters to do. Or we could get creative and we could both go home to our loved ones tonight. Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Officer avoids a bunch of paperwork.
Oh, I don't want to do that paperwork. I hated paperwork the day I was on the beat. Hated it.
Hey, right now at Zat Ford and Holly, get 0% financing for 72 months and make no payments until fall on most new 2015 vehicles in stock. See, now I'm confused because E declared that it is fall.
I actually
But
tried
now
to-
Zod is saying no payments until fall.
Oh,
so the payments are already due.
Are they due right now? Is this just obsolete? Should I not go any further?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think we have to assume that it's not fall, that E
Okay.
is wrong.
I meant it didn't
Yeah.
go through, unfortunately, but I meant to send a picture
It was only
on my
90
Twitter
degrees
to you
today, by the way.
Yeah.
I know, but I meant to send a picture on my Twitter account to you. And it didn't go through, but there are leaves in my backyard that are changed.
Dude,
So
it
it's
was
fall.
so fucking hot and humid today that it rained.
Yeah.
That's how hot it was.
Yeah,
and humid.
It was really hot.
So make no payments until fall on most new 2015 vehicles in stock. Much like the thin one working out, this has never happened before and may never happen again. So hurry down to Zot Ford at I-75 and exit 98 to take advantage of 0% financing and no payments until fall while supplies last. Because when the 2015s are gone, so is this sick deal.
I wonder how long I would have lasted on the police force. Seeing that I could absolutely be bought and paid for. I'd be willing to cut deals with people on the streets for
It depends.
speeding tickets.
Remember we talked about that dude who, I think he wrote a book or maybe did a movie that was coming
Yeah,
out.
he had
The
a-
guy in New York who
Yeah, there was a
had all the
book.
best of intentions, went into it, and then realized really quick like that was just the game that was being played in his precinct.
Yeah, it was the world's worst cop or something. New York cop.
And he just ended up dealing drugs and
Yeah. He was going in, it
stealing
was,
money.
and their policy was just like first guy in. Like even the Sarge, he took cash from a drug house, and the sergeant came in afterwards and he'd put it back, and he's like, "Sarge, I got something to tell you. I feel terrible. I peeled $500 off the top of that pile." He's like, "Well, first guy in gets first take, man."
He's like, huh.
Oh,
Then it just
okay.
broke wide open. The dude was just a huge drug dealer, dealing arms, everything.
Yeah, then that was the game. Be the first guy on the scene so you could run in and pocket a bunch of cash and drugs before the rest of the team came in. It's like that's when Officer Walters would have been most effective on the force.
And then didn't he get into like playing both sides of it? He was so in with the bad guys
Yeah.
that then he would set up stings against them and go in and
Yeah.
just take all their shit.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't get killed, honestly.
That's when law enforcement knew how to do their job. Nowadays, everyone's second guessing us. Can't even shoot a guy anymore.
Too much red tape, Mike.
Oh, it's outrageous. It's
Hey,
outrageous.
Maybe your Proops needs a bigger yard. Maybe your family is expecting its very own sweet pie. If you're looking for a new home, Chris Djelski of Remax Suburban is the realtor you need to help you find the home of your dreams. So check out our website at KristaSellsHouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. With the weekend coming up, Mike, what a perfect time
Well, how do you expect me
to
to
go
afford
looking at houses.
How do you expect me to afford this fancy new house if I can't peel a few bucks off the top every house I go into? I mean, that's my job. I break down the drug den, steal a few grand off the top. I can call Jelski, get my new house. She's paying for the
house that
cleaning.
you deserve, Mike.
Absolutely. I've earned it. Officer Walters works his balls off out there. Man on the streets. It's an us versus them business. Son of a bitch.
We've got some email, Mike.
What do we got?
Anonymous writes in. The analogy is a bit off concerning addiction, he says. I've been clean 18 years and my stories aren't all bad, but in the end, yeah, it was horrific. As to Walter's statement about 3 guys at a party, where remember, what'd you say? He said 3 guys go to a party, they all get wasted. 2 of them go, fuck, I'm never doing that again. One of them's like, I can't wait to do that again.
Yeah.
He says, as to Webster's statement, I made that up.
Son of a bitch.
Or no, I didn't make that up. That's what he said. Webster's statement about 3 guys at a party. I say, you remember the guy in school, you know the guy. Fuck him. Don't invite him to the party. He'll get in a fight or steal your parents' jewelry. Yeah, that's addiction. You know, there definitely were guys like that. Thinking
But
back like that.
I don't know if that's because we remember those guys. They weren't addicts at that point.
He says, I've heard it said an alcoholic will steal your wallet, but an addict will steal your wallet and help you look for it.
Yeah.
My first sponsor, a greasy little pistol-toting biker, stated, willpower. Take a box of X-Lax and willpower your asshole shut.
Yeah.
So I guess the point is,
Yeah.
kind of tough to do.
Yeah.
So I'm a longtime Drew and Mike fan, says Anonymous. We used to listen on AM/FM radios at the country farm at Brown Road in Giddings. So you guys are a part of my life and an original Detroit Cast and Drew Cast supporter. I'm employed, married, and have my own little sweet pie named Charlotte. And I thought you were on her baby monitor, by the way. But I'm no expert. I just throw it out there in case somebody needs help. As to the sex offender, my grand sponsor, now deceased, owned recovery houses. The common statistic has been one of every 30 to 36 people seeking recovery will stay clean. Sequoia and Pontiac, he owned a sex offender rehab in Colorado as well. He stated 100% of sex offenders, however, will offend again. They'll basically go dormant until the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, that's always the fear with that. I mean, that's what you're attracted to.
Yeah.
I mean, could you go the rest of your life without being with a chick?
Right.
You know what I mean? With your wife.
Lobotomy.
I mean, yeah. If I separated you from Gab, you could not touch her. But the second you had the opportunity,
yeah, when you imagine it that way,
it's like, yeah, that's a really, really tough one.
100%. We'll do it again.
Wow. Scary.
Derek writes in, Jay, yesterday you asked about why you had a random zit. I did ask that, and I'm actually like picking at it right now. Gross. I believe I can make some sense of it for you. You see, grown-ups with careers don't get zits. They are, however, a common problem for people who like to do the following: hang out at their friend's basement every night, make prank calls, bully the goofy kid, rate the asses of 13-year-old girls they saw on the web. And
Jay didn't do that.
I did not do it.
In his defense, he was appalled that I did that
And
on
make-
accident.
And make fun of the guy in the room that beats off in his parents' basement. All you need to do in order to complete the transformation is push Eric in the bushes and run away laughing. Congratulations, counselor. You have invented time travel. You're once again a fucking teenager. Enjoy the zits and boners. Don't get me wrong. I'm jealous as hell. Derek, your neighbor to the north.
Nice.
It's an interesting way of looking at our job, Mike.
I don't know if that really explained
The
why
job
you're
that we
getting
take
zits.
quite seriously.
Yeah. Sure do.
Calling us juvenile.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a scientific explanation of your zits, to be honest.
Calling
I'm
us
just-
immature.
Mhm.
Immature.
Yes. For life.
David writes in, skinny, gavel, and dick scratcher. I'd like to thank you, Jay, for the insight on E's party girl. Thank you for stating the wolf hat. So remember when we were looking at the electronic music thing
Yeah.
online yesterday, and E spotted his girl, Carney Wilson?
Yeah.
I said something about, oh, she's wearing a wolf hat. So Dave was able to find her.
No.
That helped me find her. In any case, he could have done worse, says Dave.
I agree. He could have. But the key to that whole
I
thing was that
could
he was,
have got that if I wanted it.
you were stone sober.
Yeah.
And that's the part where it's like I could see if you were hammered drunk and you're like, but you like went for it anyways and then decided, nah, this is gross. I'm out.
Well, as I explained, I thought like I explained this the one day, but maybe I didn't. I kind of thought that this like bisexual hippie next to me would maybe see that as like a freeing up thing, and she would maybe get her going or something. That's what I was kind of going for. Maybe, I don't know. I think I definitely could have had that chick though. Having said that,
yeah,
great.
Said I was very sexy. Her words, not mine.
The Joe writes in. Remember yesterday, Mike, when you declared what's her name, the daddy bitch, like the most annoying chick we've covered?
Yeah.
This actually crossed my mind yesterday, and I resolved in my mind that she was more annoying than the individual that the Joe writes in about. He says, Dorian, your briefcase, Mr. Johnson, has to be the most hated individual that you guys have ever discussed. And he makes a good case for it. He says, a daddy girl would be a close second. One could surmise that if Mr. Johnson would have just told the truth, what a novel idea, and informed the media that his fat, wannabe, thuggish, cigarillo-stealing friend was justifiably shot dead, that we wouldn't have the racial tensions we do now. What a butterfly effect that would be. No Ferguson riots, no Black Lives Matter. Hell, cops might even be able to safely gas up their cruisers. So yeah, Dorian is the biggest piece of shit walking the planet. You sold me, the Joe. You sold me.
He's right and he's wrong. He's right. Well, he's wrong because when I say annoying, I mean personally, their behavior, like speaking wise. Like we got to hear from her. Like Dorian never said anything. We heard from Dorian that first day, and he's really not said anything ever since. So he's kind of
He's like, damn, Big Mike and shit. He had his hands up and shit.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
all we really heard from.
But didn't we figure like we kind of understood where he was coming. It's unfortunate.
Yes, he had so much pressure. It would have been a freaking miracle.
Yeah.
Had he actually went back and told the truth.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Truth, nevertheless. I mean, it's not beyond the pale that someone would do that.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with Joe. Things would be a lot different. It really would.
Yeah.
Think about if he doesn't go there.
Black Lives Matter started from that. See Elizabeth Hasselbeck yesterday, gotten all types of shit because she was asking in an interview on what is she a co-host on Fox News morning show or something?
I don't know.
She was on The View forever, and now I think she's on Fox News. But she had said
Went from
something
Survivor to The View, now Fox News.
You're right. And she said something about when is this group going to be declared a hate group? You would have thought she shot someone. The outrage. And I'm sorry, it has a lot of markings of a fucking hate group, man. It really does.
Well, I heard people talking in terms of, everybody got all over the Tea Party when they were first coming to be, and there were some allegations that racial shit was said, and they're, oh my God, how can you not denounce this party, this group of people? They're out of control.
Yeah.
And then this same group of people won't denounce this Black Lives Matters for this shit that they're saying about killing cops.
Yeah. No, it's an outrage. It's sad because you can't speak your mind. Behind closed doors, people will tell you what they really think about a movement like that, but they're deathly afraid of the backlash that comes with it. It's a really scary place to be in. If you're in media, especially mainstream media, you almost have to kind of go with the flow. Like, I don't want to lose this job and this paycheck. Just don't say anything too controversial. Don't get in any trouble. Because you're not going to be the one to take that on. No.
Take on the whole brunt of the internet.
Yeah.
And
yep.
The whole PC movement. No way.
Yeah. You're judged by everybody. It's sad. It's unfortunate because I think for a lot of us, you can see that from kind of an overhead perspective and just go, are you serious? Are you serious? This is running across the country right now, trying to be a legitimate group. It looks like a hate group. Anyway,
changing the subject, Anonymous writes in to follow up on his email. It was either yesterday or the day before where he talked about filming chicks during sex.
Yeah.
With a key fob.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
He had his little inventive key fob thing with the
camera on
it. Hello, gang. I hope this message finds you well, says Anonymous. Well, I took Mike J's and Eric's overwhelmingly unanimous advice to go ahead and secretly videotape an encounter of the
My
sexual
advice
nature.
was not to do it, by the way.
As was mine.
I kind of think Anonymous was right there.
Hey, the record is clear.
I kind of have a vivid memory of all three of us going, absolutely, get it recording and send it here.
The record is clear.
Not me.
Pretty sure that's how it went. At least Anonymous, I remember it.
Somehow Anonymous got the wrong message and went forward with it. He says, well, this is something I'll treasure forever. I must say I made a couple amateur errors in the development. First off, the lighting wasn't the best. She decided to turn off one of the lamps on the nightstand right before we did the deed, as Big E calls it. Luckily, there was another nightstand with a light on the other end of the bed that remained on. This, however, only seemed to illuminate my doughy, pale body as she was on the end of the bed that had no light. Luckily, this chick was into it. What made up for the poor lighting was the fact that she was loud, and the audio is captured on my hidden camera. I'll definitely be filing that into my spank bank. After watching the video several times containing this chick that had no idea she was being filmed, I've come to the conclusion that I may be a disgusting person. Not mentally, but just because I should probably hit the gym more and incorporate healthier eating habits so I can make better videos.
Yeah.
So that he can personally appear better in the video.
Gotcha.
Oh, and by the way, I have another date for the weekend with a different chick.
Nice. So do we get the video?
Well, he gave us a still.
Still.
And this is troubling to me, Mike. Because there's a time and date stamp on it of 1908. And I get it. A lot of times these things, people don't set their dates and all that. But why would it be January 9th, 2008 if this thing's like brand new and he's using it for the first time?
Maybe he got it for Christmas in 07.
No.
Just took it out of the box for January of 08.
I am calling BS on this image.
So you think that's a chick he banged in 2008?
I don't think it's...
This may be file footage of, if you just Google image
file footage,
Google image, chick getting it from behind,
unknowingly
in hidden camera. I don't know.
I don't think there's any chance in hell that
She
date.
kind of looks hot.
Yeah, but I don't think that
She looks
date
cute.
gets stuck there.
I didn't mean that like literally, Nick. I mean, I don't think we're gonna probably get that image, but all right, we'll try it.
Let me see. I want to see what she looks like.
She looks well put together from what you can tell, and he is right that it's you dragging it in there, dude. Mick's gonna drag the image in and see where it. Look at this son of a bitch. Watch this.
Look at that son of a bitch.
It's not in there. Wow, he didn't pull it out. He
Aha.
didn't pull it off the web. It's his.
The plot thickens. That's his image from 2008.
Well, he'll have to be. He has to really do a lot to convince me that this is what he just took the other day. Why would it say 2008? I just don't buy it.
Are we gonna have to ask him for a further follow up?
Yeah, and video, obviously.
I guess
I mean,
that's
he
our
claimed-
request. I guess.
Yeah.
The long and the short of it is.
So the whole team
we
is
need further
requesting-
evidence. No, I don't need you to tape another chick. You've already done this, but I think he needs to prove that this was.
I think if he were to film another chick and it came up as, say, January 15th, 2008, that would clear it up for us, right?
No, it
we would know.
wouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
No, it
film
wouldn't.
another chick surreptitiously.
Well, I wouldn't say don't, but
I will. But I haven't-
if you want to, not because we said to. But
I didn't know
if
that
you
little
do-
trick, Mick. By the way, you can just pull images into Google Image, like drag and drop.
Yeah, you can just drag them right in. You need to go to image search first in Google to let it do it. But you can just drag them right in there, and then it'll tell you if that image is anywhere else on the internet. So whenever somebody
wondered how they do that when it's like that image was taken from this picture from 2002, and I'm like, how the hell? That's how they do it.
It's the drag and drop.
They don't do it. Google does it.
Yeah,
Google's fantastic.
Wow.
Hey, we got to mention the Amazon link. We haven't done so yet. Please continue to use it. It's on our website, DetroitCast.com. Just click through that portal to Amazon and shop as you normally do, and we get a bit of a kickback, and it's hugely helpful. So please,
And
don't
the
be a dick,
Canadian
use
one,
it.
too.
The Canadian one. Our neighbors to the north can use it.
Yep.
Neighbors with an O-U-R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else going on?
No,
Need to
we're
mention?
good.
Okay. Well, let's kill it there for a Thursday. We're already at Friday again. Jeez, the weeks are cooking by. We'll see you guys tomorrow for an all-new Friday edition.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you grow. You know not what remains shallow. All just